Oh, I did that.
Oh, you did that. Okay, sweet.
Don't worry, it wasn't you. That was me.
Oh, so this works just like
Hello.
Yeah,
Spaces.
that's why I say yeah. It's like Spaces, and then we invite people up. So it is very much like Twitter Spaces. So if we're used to the format, hey, people
Amazing.
starting joining now.
So can you see when people put their hands up and stuff?
I think so. Maybe somebody from the audience test out.
Yeah,
Put up
someone
your
test it
hand.
out for us.
Somebody
Oh,
request.
there we go. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool, 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 cool.
sweet. We'll bring John in because he is a dev.
Come on, John.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Awesome, awesome. Cool, cool.
Michael's here too.
Yay.
All right, let's get Michael in here.
Did it give everyone ping? I hope so. I was gonna make an announcement, but I saw that I gave an option to ping everyone when it started.
Yeah, we haven't made an announcement, and it's technically not for 1 minute, so no, but I think we're fine to ping.
Yeah. Hey, somebody in the chat, let me know if you got an everyone ping when I started this.
Danny's here also. Hiding in the crowd.
Yeah, I can't find him.
Danny Among Us.
Oh, cool. This
He's
is actually better than Spaces because it actually has a freaking chat. That's one thing that I have no clue why they never add to Spaces. It's like, why not have a text chat for people who are in the audience and want to actually like talk to people on stage without actually joining this?
Is that a Sana from Twice profile picture I see? Because you're after my own heart with that.
Okay, so Bridge is saying he did not see a ping. Cool. So I will make an announcement. I'll craft that up for.
So it's don't die.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we missing any of the devs? I don't remember. Dean, are you wanting to talk? I can't remember.
Devs Among Us.
Okay, yeah, right. Awesome. All right, yeah, we're gonna give it a few minutes. Matto's gonna put out a announcement that this is starting soon, and then we'll get underway. And we're so excited to hear from everyone who's comfortable enough to provide feedback and talk with us.
Really looking forward to it.
The only thing that is kind of sad is because we joined the stage already, the whole music is gone. And I was
Yeah.
quite enjoying it actually.
Aw, it was
Yeah,
so
it had like its
good.
own hold music. We should have like a if next time we do this, we'll have like a sound bar or something like that.
Yeah. Go on, Hugo,
And
sing for us.
No, you don't want that. The viewership will drop to a flat 0 in an instant. Will it be a recording? We are actually recording it.
Yeah, Dean's on it.
Awesome.
Shall we
Cool.
get started?
I think so. Matt, are you good on your end?
yeah, I'm about to hit okay on right now. Okay. we're
Sweet.
good.
All right,
See that
Helen.
ping?
Whenever
All
you're ready,
right.
Helen, take us away.
Okay, hi everyone. This is so fun. Our first ever Runiverse Roundtable. So to start us off, I'm going to introduce some of the developers that are hiding amongst us. We have Tanilo, our creative director, Michael, design lead from the Bisonic team, Andres, our producer, Daniel, our game designer, and John, narrative designer. Hello. And then from marketing, you know, Hugo, you're head of marketing. You have me here, social and community lead, Dean, who is recording this, our creative director of marketing, and Matto Tsuki, community manager. To start us off, Matto has a couple announcements that we're going to go through. I will turn your attention to the Runiverse channel because we're going to share some assets there.
Yeah,
We can't forget about Jeldor and Dota as well. Awesome.
You're
to
here
have them here.
too.
Yeah, they
Yay.
snuck in, so we're happy to have them here.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, cool. So actually, I actually have permission to share some assets that we have been holding off on. We can share them, give you a little alpha, some sneak peek. I'm gonna be posting it in the Runiverse channel just in a moment. See, actually. So first thing I want to show off actually was we have um we have the ponies that were actually shown off earlier by Elf. But I'm actually gonna repost those really quick. Just so you can see in the sales chat. So, for those who don't know, the ponies are going to actually be making their way into the Forgotten Runiverse game. So, if you have a Forgotten Runes pony from the Forgotten Runes ecosystem, you will be able to actually ride them in game as your mount. Now, at first, it's going to be just one pony that you're able to use until the other ones get implemented. I'm going to show you the skins for the other ones that when they do get implemented, how they look. But you'll be able to ride your own original pony in style. On just one moment, I'm actually getting it. Sorry for this. I had to
The tension is building.
yeah, I know the tension is building as I get them ready. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me start uploading them. So this is something that we know that people have been requesting for a long time, right? I think definitely people have definitely been wanting to see how their opponents look in game. They've been asking for a long time because they've been knowing that mounts have been included in games, but like we haven't really posted about how ponies are going to be integrated to that. And so, we mentioned in our last Runiverse Direct that ponies are indeed being in the game, and we kind of showed off how the default pony looks like. And these are how some of the skins actually look like. So the individual ponies, how their actually skin look like this.
So Matto just shared these in the Runiverse channel. If you didn't hear that
Yeah, they're over in the
detail,
Runiverse channel. Yeah,
so you're able to.
I wanted to share them there so that way they don't get lost later when people are like kind of like looking back here because this roundtable channel is probably going to get like hidden, so we're able to use it again. So just wanted to do that. Okay. And aside from that, we also have. I wanted everybody to know that we have a survey that we're going to be posting. I'll actually post that right now too. And this survey is just going to be obviously for everybody who played Crash the Universe. We really care about all of your feedback that you want to provide. It was a great event for us. We were able to gather a lot of good information from it, and it helps us confirm that we're still on track for our Q1 release. And we just wanted get some more information from all of you guys who played. And we also are holding a raffle for some mana packs for those who actually complete the survey. It's completely optional though. I mean, if you have to put your email address that you use for your Universe account so that we can deliver the mana. But if you just want to do it anonymously, feel free to do it to submit your feedback anonymously. That's fine. You just can't be answered to the mana pack if you do that. The mana pack raffle if you do that. Let's see. Did I post it? Okay. Sorry, I'm like multitasking with different screens right now. Let me get this set up better. Okay. Another thing that I want to show off was we have a preview of one of the future temples or one of the future dungeons that are going to be released. This is the Moon Temple, and it's still an early draft of it. So
If you'd like, I can handle uploads so you can do your beautiful
yeah,
speaking.
thank you. Please, because I'm like multitasking
Gotcha.
back and forth between the uploads.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Helen.
No
Yeah, so
problem.
those so here's the Moon Temple. It's this is one of the it's gonna be a dungeon that's gonna be released. Maybe not in the next event, but it's something that's in the works. And I also wanted to draw attention to the fact that one of the questions that we get asked a lot is how would people visit my plot of land, or how would I incentivize people to come to my plot of land, right? Because we have rewards. You earn quanta from people using your plot of land. But in order to get there, right, um, we have the plots of land actually living out organically in the world. So when the game is during live service, as the game expands, it's going to be open world. And so people are going to actually be able to visit your plots of land as they travel by foot to like these locations. So we want to show you that the Moon Temple is situated right here in this corner in this image. Sorry, and like the center of this image, And if you look around in the perimeter, you see that there are like locations, these box locations. Those are plots of land. And so if you were saying, going to explore the dungeon of the Moon Temple, and you get some items from the Moon Temple that you want to craft, right? Perhaps you have a forge that's in one of these perimeter plots of land, right? And that forge has, a high level recipe for equip that you really want, and you get all the items you need in Moon Temple. You go straight, it's right there, a walk away from the Moon Temple as soon as you leave it, and then you can go to somebody's forge and you can craft it up. So where your plot of land is positioned in the actual map can actually put you in a very good position for incentivizing more players to come to your land and such. And so we think of this, it's going to be like a live ecosystem. It's going to be an open world where people are going to be able to explore, and as they explore, they'll be able to bump into your plots of land. And then see what else. Next we have the enemy previews. Can you actually put those up too? Can I
Absolutely. We're
ask?
going to start with the Rave Mage, shall we?
Sure. Oh, this is actually a skill, but yeah, we can go there. Let's go with the skills actually. So this is one of the, so we have obviously like, we're gonna have more leveling. There's gonna be more abilities and more levels in later builds, right? And so one of the classes that we're thinking of is like the Rave Mage. It takes inspiration obviously from yellow mages, yellow wizards, and so uh we have some skills. It's like early animations for how the skills would look like for the Rave Mage class. We want to kind of embody a lot of archetypes that feel like they feel in lore with Forgotten Runes ecosystem and Forgotten Runiverse. So Rave Mage felt like it was really good. It was a really good fit. I think. When I look at this, I especially love if you recognize there's the in the animation for one of the skills. There's DJ Gwendolyn, who if you know from she's actually appeared in the comics, and she's also appeared in the animated trailer as well. She belongs to Shark Orbis as one of his wizards, and was one of like the earlier animations that were made, and that kind of like caught a lot of attention. The idea of the purple hat wizard who was kind of like spinning tracks on the DJ was really fun, and so like it got incorporated in a lot of media, and so it's really good to see her actually in here. And yeah, also Rave Mage is from Runes TCG as well. Correct. Thanks. I was gonna that actually leads us to our next section where I wanted to show off the enemies that are also inspired by Runes TCG that are coming up.
Starting with the Day Serpent.
Yeah. So we have yeah, Giveahoo is very happy. Giveahoo. So for those who don't know, Giveahoo is actually the creator of Runes TCG, and Runes TCG is a community project that's built by the community for the community. Honestly, it's a trading card project that has incorporates a lot of lore from the community. It takes a lot of art from the community and from community artists, and so like and it's a fully functioning game on its own too. So like when we're looking towards bringing stuff from the community into the Forgotten Universe, stuff like this really stands out, and it makes it a lot easier for us to understand and incorporate what kind of um what kind of monsters, what kind of Easter eggs that we can include in the game that make it feel like it's really aligned with what the community is building.
Yeah,
How does this part?
I love seeing things from the TCG reflected in the
Yeah,
game and then reflected in some of like even the physical cards that you can get. And we had actually like an impromptu TCG night where we were just playing with a bunch of the community. It was so much fun, and
It
we're
was.
hoping we can do it again. And like now again to kind of see it full circle with some of those characters and enemy types like in the game is just like makes me so happy because I'm a big fan of the TCG personally.
yeah,
Shall we
yeah.
talk about the Blaze Frog?
Sure.
Oh yes, let's show.
Love the Blaze Frog, I have to
Blaze
say.
So awesome.
We have the Blaze Frog coming in. I think I love the animation where he hops up and he puts like a firestorm on you when he's hopping.
We're gonna let him load handsomely.
So is
There we
this
go.
like inspired by when you burn like a frog pet and then it's like on fire? Because that's a
Yeah.
trait for the souls, right?
Yeah, that is a soul trait. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. So one of the so
We were
the
admiring one.
yeah, so for those who don't know, the Forgotten Souls collection is like the upgraded collection of Forgotten Runes. Really, it's like if you take a wizard and you burn it with a sacred flame, it gets transmuted into a Forgotten Soul. And so with that, a lot of their traits they kind of map out into like a zombified or like like a kind of spirit ectoplasm version, right? And so some of them, one of them is if you have one of the frog pets in the collection, they can turn into a flaming frog, right? And so like that's really fun to see.
Yeah. Okay. Does that
Awesome. Do we have any other alpha from you, Matto? Before
Yeah,
one
we
more
kick
really
it off?
good?
there's still another monster. There's still another monster from Rune Season.
Ooh.
Oh, have I
The
missed
butterfly.
it? Oh my gosh, I missed it. Allow me to download.
Okay, Helen. I know you're working this on the side with me, and it's also very helpful for you to have this working on the side.
Yeah, yeah, much smoother.
Much smoother, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Power.
Yeah, next
So
time
yeah,
we do this, we should definitely get like a soundboard, and we can have like music play in the background. We have
yeah.
really
I was gonna say like
yeah.
we
That's what
feel like we
next
need
time.
Sweet.
some
Keep that in mind.
tunes.
Blaze
Dean
Fog,
picked
yeah.
out today.
See, SBZ posted a picture from the collection, from the Souls collection.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, well, that is such an awesome looking soul. The burning toad and the burning rose,
Mhm.
unbelievable.
Oh, I love when they have matching props like that. It's like there's a lot of the burning toads have like props that they're like when they're on fire, it looks like the toad is like actually lighting on fire. It's really
Clean.
We have our glorious butterfly. I love this one too. How could I forget
yeah,
it?
this one's also from the Rune CCG. I really love the animations that they put in, especially like the spinning animation that they have. And
Here
so
they
this is like I
come.
said, this is just like another example of how like we're looking towards a community and like, the stuff that you're building is like being incorporated into the game. And so like gradually you're gonna start seeing a lot more of these Easter eggs pop up, a lot more of these monsters that are taken directly from the book of lore and directly from community creations. And speaking of which, we also have it's not just monsters, we also have an armor set as well that's coming up. Actually, we got the okay from
Boy.
Bruce's house, right? We got the
We
okay from
Yeah,
sure
Bruce's
yeah,
did.
we're
house.
okay.
Okay, cool.
We're okay. This is the
I was like,
truest
oh yeah,
alpha.
we got this new armor set. I can post it. Not really. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Kitsune armor set is gonna be included into the game. And so this for anybody who's unaware, we have part of our collection are the beasts in our collection, which are those are like very esteemed, like there's very esteemed parts of the collection that there's only 8 of them. And one of them is the Kitsune. I actually post a picture of her. I know Helen doesn't have a picture of her right now, but I'll get her really quick. And so you could like as one of the beast armors, I feel like this is something that a lot of people are gonna really like. We also I know a lot of people have been building their characters um around like this area of Forgotten Runes map. Like they're gonna be really happy. Like their Tengu characters are probably gonna be really good, like going with this and stuff. It'll be really cool actually see a party of like Tengu mask with the Kitsune in the middle. That actually would be pretty cool.
Oh, goodness.
Fine,
Too
let me
cool.
get I'll get the beast really quick so that way people can compare it to the Kitsune. The seven-tailed Kitsune right here.
Matto, remind me to ship you a new mic.
Oh my god. I don't think it's my mic. I think it's like some settings. Because I
Oh,
have
weird.
it's a Blue Yeti. And like Blue Yeti is supposed to be good, right?
Yeah,
Supposed to be.
from my understanding, yeah.
This Kitsune is good. Come on, ma'am.
Look at that art.
Wow. Some
Awesome.
good
So
stuff.
I think
It's
does that cover all of our leaks to kick things off, Matto?
yeah, I think that covers everything that we have right now. Did I post a survey? I don't think I posted a survey.
Oh, you did, but maybe
Oh,
post it in the
I'll
game
post
announcements channels
I'll
as well,
post it in
just
the
so it
game
doesn't get buried.
announcements. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
So
post that
that
in the game announcements channel after this.
yeah, good call. So that's gonna take us to
Quest?
the main reason why we wanted to do this Runiverse Roundtable, and that is to hear from all of you. So I'll kick it over to Helen to kind of kick things off, and that's a lot of kicking, but yeah, take it away, Helen.
Kicking me over here, Hugo. So yes, we prepared some questions we had for all of you. I'm mostly going to act as a scribe here. I want to write down your feedback as it comes in. To start, we're wondering what you enjoyed the most because we want to amp up any feature that you think made your experience really fun during the betas. So if there's anyone who feels up to speaking, ooh, The frog? Ah, good to know. We have a request.
We do have a request. Bring them up.
It's for Santa.
That's Daniel. That's a dev. Don't
Yeah,
be
it's
fooled.
a Deb. Hey, what's up?
Sorry, it just took me quite a while to find the speak button. But I'm just here to help. If anything, leave me.
No worries.
Amazing. So I do see the frog as
Oh.
a mention.
So I actually see somebody. There's a question somebody said, or not really a question, but they said there is missing some kind of meter system skill. That's a classic RPG wizard skill. Oh, meteor skill, huh? You know, I don't know particularly off the top of my head if there's anything like that, but I would assume that there's probably going to be like some pretty big looking spells from the animations and later down the line. Maybe it's a bit too early for you to have that like level 20, but that sounds like it's probably a spell that you have later down the line. Some big fireworks that you can shoot off.
Okay, the
Oh, we
frog and
got
the
that.
butterfly are peak. Sorry, Hugo, I cut you off.
No, all good. I think we have Tad, and then we have someone waiting to speak in Malevolent after. So let's hear from Tad and what
Awesome.
he thought was the most fun aspect.
For me, I think the most fun was seeing the increased integration of the Runiverse into the game with the Forgotten Runes IP. Some of the brief mentions just in putting a rune on the door, the way that the characters are blended in, and I know Elf is working on more of that, like the integration of the ponies. That's all really exciting, and it was very fun to see. Outside of that, the party system was a lot improved. Being able to have a list of friends to choose from was good. There were still some bugs with it early on, but late in the testing, it worked pretty well. What else? It was very good, the improvement in disconnects, being able to link back up with your party and not lose a dungeon or force an into the run. So a lot of quality of life improvements. I think there still needs to be some updates to chat. It's still kind of hard to use group chat, and I don't know if there's a way to do it without blocking the screen, but being able to communicate during combat might be nice for long combat scenes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a great point.
We're gonna
But
dive more into our party forming and team fight experience later. So I'd really like to hear more details about what you've had there.
Yeah.
yeah, sure. But yeah, I think that's a good rundown. I'll let some other people talk about what they thought.
Well, I think one of the things you pointed out was like the in battle communication. And I know like some of us when we were playing through the dungeons ourselves, we're like, this is such an active battle system. Like it'd be cool if there was like a feed or something in the top right letting you know who did what, so you can like make sure that you're selecting the right skill to parry off it. And so that's not something like that the devs are actively working on by any means, but like we're all actively playing and we're all actively thinking about like things that could potentially help solve. And the devs are doing a great job, and we're here to help kind of like capture what you guys think so that they're also aware of it, which is the beauty of this roundtable.
And I wanted to add something to that, Hugo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's that so one of our main concerns when like doing these ATB based kind of Final Fantasy S game was that like we're aware that we still have like battle readability issues and things like, oh, how do we increase clarity, right? And like part of getting the feedback is like us understanding, okay, where can we improve in terms of making battle more clear, communicating in battle more clear, right? So we're taking all of these feedback for future releases.
Yep. It's
Awesome.
all part of the testing. And thank all of you helping us by testing it and pointing out.
Yeah, I mean, they did such a good job testing. We had to go into chaos hours, which was just wild times.
Yeah,
Um,
Charles mentioned an automatic party system would be good, or like a party matchmaking system. Is that something that's in the works,
Totally.
or something that's being considered?
It is something that's being considered. I don't know if it's something that we'll be able to have soon, but like it's definitely in the pipeline, right?
Cool.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, one thing we can tell you guys is that as marketing has been saying this all the time, but we really hear you guys. So our intention is to make this game as functional for you. We are definitely preparing an overhaul for the whole social system, and that includes the battler and everything that happens within it. We will shed more light on that as time goes on, as time goes closer to the next release. But yeah, just to get you more into the conversation, we highly encourage you guys to share your feedback with us because it's because of that how can we improve our game. So please keep it coming, guys.
We had some people who were lined up to request to speak, but I think they dropped off. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I'm seeing Hale requesting, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring them on stage.
Yeah, and if anything, we can invite them later if they.
Yeah, and if anyone accidentally put their hand down, feel free to just put it back up and we'll get you in here. All right, welcome, Hale.
Hey,
Hey
Hale.
everyone, how's it going? Hopefully I'm coming through well.
Yeah, you're coming through great,
And
Hale.
yeah, so I was gonna share because I actually did get to play with Tad quite a bit during the beta, so it was great. And so something I personally enjoyed, and we touched on this a little bit when we had it with the pleasure to chat with Daniel previously, was with how the spells were actually introduced to have like higher tiers of levels. So we were actually able to go back to during the previous beta where we had like maybe these basic, slightly weaker spells, and you kind of just graduated from them, and they were nice to the point that you'd be willing to sacrifice stats to play them. But then it was a nice little glimpse, I guess, on the possibilities with the crafting system and how like it's kind of like no spell left behind, and if it just works with your build, then we did that. And so like myself together with a couple friends, like Battle Riot, Nick's Tape, we managed to clear the windmill on Omen level 5. This is before KS hours, unfortunately, so the rewards were less exciting than the glory, I guess we'll put it that way.
We were
But
definitely cheering on your video, though. That went around the whole dev team. We were so excited.
yeah, and it's funny because like just before we did that, I dropped my guide on how to be a tank, and it really paid off in that run. So like something that really excited me was with the introduction of the Omen system. It really sort of like put stress on how important a team composition can be, and not only through like the spells that are available, but then like through dungeon design, encounters, so, like boss fights. Like there can be moments where you might actually have players want to not attack at all because maybe the boss is like absorbing all that damage and like releases it, so like people actually have to pay attention. So you can really see where there's a lot of possibility. So with the game, so the challenge was great. I can't say it was much for farming, but then like I gotta say we did it and we have a video of it, so that's always gonna be fun. Um, to add to what Tad was saying with when it comes to communication in battles, we had this thought where maybe like just stickers, like simple battle stickers, could kind of do it. I used to play a game called Mobius Final Fantasy by Square Enix, and they had a very simple system where there's things like I'm gonna attack this, or please help me, or please support me, or break that target, or whatever. So there was that, and maybe in between like your ATB kind of filling out, if you tap on a skill, you could kind of forecast and tell your party, hey, I'm planning to use this spell next. And I think that's really good, especially when teams are more coordinated, especially like with drink break, and you kind of want to do that on a rotation. So like on a higher level, that's what happens. So just ideas, but overall, it was a great beta. I know like we really enjoyed it. I was unfortunately not able to dive into the odds of crafting. I really wanted to make like Smurfs to just kind of like blow through all the Fey essence and just see like where the ranges were. But then I think we would save that for the future. But yeah, thank you.
No, thank you. And I totally agree. It's like sometimes those quick chats are like really helpful, especially in Rocket League when everyone spams you what a save when you let a goal in. It's definitely not. Hasn't happened to me though. Um, Also, Hale, I wanted to just like thank you as well for all the community threads and builds you've been doing on Twitter. Like those are so helpful, and we love seeing those as well. And they're incredibly helpful. We even like between you and like Sporkly, we used some of those builds when we were going onto the OpenSea stream. So it was super awesome.
Yeah, I unfortunately turned in before that stream started. I would have loved to jump on, but then it's good to see. And they're fun to make, and I like some people are like to just enjoy the game, jump in, and not have to think too hard about the mechanics and everything. And if that's what gets them going, then happy to help.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming up on stage. I see we have Ray VZ also wanting to speak, so let's bring them up.
Ray.
Hey, Ray, welcome.
Ooh, are we
Ooh, I don't know.
having muted mic issues? It might be the hardware itself.
It
Well, if
was
we want to
bound. It
give
was bound to happen. It was bound to happen on
doing it
public
live.
Okay.
spaces.
I learned I can turn the music on, so
Oh,
that's
really?
good enough.
I'm checking your settings. Sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we'll give him a minute.
yeah,
I can move on to another question and we can come back to Ray. Give him a minute here.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh,
Mic
no.
check,
Yay!
mic check.
Knows.
Okay. Well,
Hello.
we got here.
You rolled a 20 for fixing Mike.
So it's a pleasure to be up here and to chat with you guys and to give some feedback. So shout out to everybody in the chat. The game is some of the most fun I've had in Web3 since CryptoKitties, being involved and in the trenches the whole time. So that says a lot for at this stage in the cycle of just Web3 gaming overall. But yeah, I piggyback off of what Hale was saying, and I think in addition would be, when we're in a battle, whether in a party, and there's buffs or debuffs on either the enemy or ourselves in a party, it seems like if there's more than 4 or 3, you don't know if there's any more until they kind of go away. I wonder if there would be, it would be nice to see them like pop up on top of the enemy or in a longer bar to know like what you would have to play next to address whatever debuffs you have on, and if there's a timer type of mechanism, because I really, for let's say the bear or whatever enemy that does a taunt, like you'd want to be able to time it as soon as possible. Maybe that takes away from the experience of just like you have to be paying attention, but you'd still have to pay attention. So I'm just thinking off the top, with that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm rattling off here, but yeah, I'm just super stoked, excited for the game, and the partying up is definitely something that was always a tooth grinder. So I did, shameless plug, start a guild of community members who are active, and we had a nice rotation of people who were just at least 3 people on the mic, which totally helped a lot with just focusing and honing your attention and skills and enjoyment. So it would go a long ways if something like that over time is incorporated for partying. If at some point you have to be in a group to really excel in your grinding, but maybe there's a portion of leveling that is just single player, 0 to hero. The hero's journey. Up until now, you have to take it into the next level, partnering with people. But I'll leave it there, and I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm glad that you're creating a guild. We want to see more of that team play. I think there's a question actually earlier, and Steezy asked in the chat. He asked if a guild system is on the radar, and yes, we actually do have a guild system in the radar. We have actually there's a guild hall as one of the building options. Lots of land.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah,
have. Yeah.
I would say we could even go further than that and say if you look at our live paper, which is linked to from our website, and I think it might be pinned here as well. But there's an entire roadmap for 2025 and 2026, and guilds is a very prominent aspect of that roadmap, and more.
And more, tons of more. Yep, but definitely we want to see more of that team play, more people. If you're creating a guild, you're gonna be right at home in the Forgotten Runiverse once we have guilds rolling out.
It's great to hear. Yeah, and the live paper speaks for itself in many cases. So definitely check that out if you haven't. But yeah, when it comes to land, I don't know. I don't want to like direct the conversation anywhere, but let me know if I'm jumping ahead when we talk about land. I'm totally interested in everything land.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So a question that I had, and I know Hale might have had some questions too, so definitely jump in if and anyone else for that matter. But the management side of land, if you own more than just one, is something that still kind of gets me thinking deeply, and the maintenance and the upkeep. It does read in some capacity that mana is going to be what's used by anyone and everyone. But is that like a soft staking where you can retrieve your mana back, or is it infinite burning mechanism for mana? And then also, what I think about is if one person has a lot of land, I know delegation is in the works for 2025 via that mini roadmap of 05 and 06. But yeah, just I guess what it entails, a little bit more details, and that has to be nothing crazy. But that's something I just keeps me up at night. For I guess I'll reveal it here for those who don't know. I own majority of the Blue Wizard Bastion. I just loved the lore behind blue magic, and machine. So science and machine. So reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist, and I was just like, dude, there's no better magic. Maybe purple or black magic, which is the 8th type of magic apparently from the Wikipedia. But yeah, I'll stand down. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you picked up land based off of reading the lore and feeling like you aligned with it. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that too more as they get to learn the world more, even if they don't know yet. As they hop in, they're probably going to be seeing the locations and learning more about the locations, and they're going to be like, "Hey, I really want some land here." I think it was a good call getting those plots of land early if you felt like you really
Yeah, it was a total
Yeah,
risk. Go ahead, Hugo. Sorry.
So, no, all good. So, just wondering, like, who would be best from this dev group to answer Ray's question here? Maybe Jeldor? Oh, maybe mic issues. Matt, cue the music.
Yeah, I'll put the music on really
I
quick.
can talk a little bit about like our vision for the development of those tools for plot management and stuff, right?
Yeah, that would be
Something
awesome.
that like
Yeah.
something to keep in mind is like this is also a learning process for us in like how to give the best tools for the players, right? So we're developing a system that hopes to allow like like owners of multiple plots of land to easily access them, right? But like for us, it's very important in this upcoming release to get your feedback on that, right? On where you feel like, okay, these tools need to be improved and where we can improve. And I think it will be an ongoing dialogue to really get like to a final place where like owners like feel like, okay, I've got the tools that I need to manage the land, and like that whole process of like I own the land, the people that visit my plots and my buildings, etc. That flow is very seamless for players. Okay, and I think a very part of it will be built alongside the community once we're live.
Yeah. And I've seen some internal kind of like images of mock-ups of how the land management system will be. So like it's definitely stuff that's being actively worked on, and I think that getting a lot of community feedback with it, that will be something that later down the line, we'll be able to have get pick your mind for it, to see how it works best for you.
Does that help, Ray? Will I have you sleep at night again?
Finally. But yeah, it does help, and I look forward to the evolution of it all because we are still very, very early, and I look forward to the journey ahead. So yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I will also briefly mention that delegation of land, even before we get it ready in game, we're trying to get in works with delegate.xyz to have them build on Ronin. If they can, that would actually be a pretty good way to delegate before we get the delegation system up. Obviously, our system is going to be more integrated with the game. It's going to have more active functionality, but like as just kind of like a loose way to kind of like pretty much rent out your land to other people. That system will work out for that. Like you delegate the delegate marketplace and like, put your land up, and other people kind of rent it out for a certain amount of time.
What would be cool? I know you guys did launch not so far back the official map for the Forgotten Rune lands, so some integration there. It's pretty self-explanatory that would be the case, but again, I'm just throwing it out there. But I know Axie Infinity, because I do have lands in Axie Infinity that are being delegated, and they did hire out a third party. I don't know what the costs were associated with it, but it was something that was asked since literal day one, because land staking was what basically happened before the game came out, which is still kind of being worked on, even though it's been 8 years. So not saying that Forgotten Runes is going to go this way because they already have a game that is incorporating land. So it's just a black and white situation. But as far as the delegation is concerned, delegate that XYZ is great, but maybe consider that option where it's like a third party, unless it's just simpler for the time being for delegate XYZ, and then how it could be how the website for land searching, the Zillow of land searching for Forgotten Runes, maybe it could just all be in-house to some capacity instead of needing to do like wallet delegation. That having all the activity on the website would be awesome if we could get there. Pretty much.
Yeah, I think we'll continue to kind of like explore our options and such. Still very early, but I think
Nice.
like these are also discussions that we're having too. Like I think the delegate XYZ discussion was happening pretty recently actually. So
Cool.
we're still very early, and we'll take your feedback. Actually, I'll probably like DM you later on about like your thoughts too, so I can get them
Yeah.
more organized and get them a bit more noted down. So I think you have
Sounds good.
very good feedback for that. Thank you.
And I know Jeldor wanted to provide some more like color on that. His mic wasn't working unfortunately. So if it's working now, we'll get you more info. But if not, we can also
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
are you guys able to hear me
Yep,
now?
Yeah,
we're good
there we
now.
go.
Okay.
Welcome.
All right. So if any of you guys have played Albion Online, I think you'll get a sense of what it works like at first. So at first, for the people that are playing in the game, you're going to have to do things like go, and if you own a plot, you're going to go and collect the quanta for that plot. You're going to have to go and add mana to buildings manually to maintain them. But we do want to expose APIs, like management APIs, so that it's possible to build outside of the game management software. It's really hard to do something like in the game, especially with the style of the game, the UI of the game, build something for mass plot management. So what we're hoping is to build the tools, the APIs, so that people can build that management outside of the game and have a much better experience with it. For management of the land, if you're somebody that owns 1,000 plots, like a lot of people are going to want to delegate, as you said, like we saw with scholars and everything from Axie. We hope to build tools for that too. I mean, it is a natural evolution for the land marketplace. It won't be there at launch, but it is something that we've talked to the team about as building the land management in there. But there'll be other things, for example, through the guild to help manage the plots as well, and to be able to share the management of lots of plots amongst other people in the guild.
Yeah, that's thanks a lot, Jelder. Another thing that keeps me up at night is that just the amount of involvement that takes away from playing the game, if that's something that you'd want to do being a large landholder, and then for how long those lands are not being utilized. But yeah, all good stuff. Another thing that just crossed my mind too is for players who put mana in, it could be like a slow time burn of the mana, where it's like if you only needed to use it's just the thought of like people could come back and take their mana out and then go somewhere else with it. But then technically, just thinking off the top, that would make sense. You want to have sinks working in your favor as far as the economy is concerned.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
A lot of stuff.
So the land, the mana for maintenance, it's something that's inspired by Albion Online as well. So
Nice.
Food and Albion Online, where anybody can contribute food for the maintenance. And the balance idea for it here, it's not really intended to be something where we're trying to drain a lot of mana from people for the economy as a major sink. It's really just to maintain the health of the land, because what happens in these games is when you don't have a mechanic like that, you end up getting a bunch of abandoned buildings, right? And that could be from somebody that lost their wallet. That could be from somebody that just was into the game early on and stopped playing. But the natural kind of order of things is half a year later or 2 years later, if you don't have some decay mechanic, you do end up with like a bunch of abandoned houses in a game with player housing. So that's really the main purpose of it. It's not to just be kind of a really intensive sink. So you can imagine something where when we figure out the balance, it's not like you have to go there every day, right, and keep dumping in mana in or everything falls apart, right? It's just a basic level of maintenance so that we don't end up with a world where there's a ton of houses and nobody is using them and nobody can build anything anymore.
Awesome. All good stuff, man. I don't want to take up too much time unless there's other people who want to jump in. But another thing that crossed my mind was for resources. I remember reading the old white paper that there was like a mechanism of 30 minutes for world nodes where people would be able to farm resources. It would switch up, and you would have to then, I guess, move over to that new area or find a new area depending on how far it just respawns, versus the gathering stations that you would be able to put on your land plot that you own. I know there's a capacity of how many people could be at one gathering station at one time. I think in the last playtest, I was able to see 3 3 circles. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there's a max capacity for people who could farm at land gathering stations, because if I could upgrade with Quanta the gathering station, does that increase the chairs available for any group of people to be at that gathering station? And and on the bot side of things, I know I'm trying to opening up a bunch of Pandora's boxes here, but versus the world nodes switching up, how would it technically help the team to combat bots if gathering stations are readily available, always online, and people could just farm up macros and just like do what they did in the last playtest, where they don't have to be actively clicking to farm at a gathering station?
Yeah, so I can give some color to this stuff. So this will be the first, when we launched a live service, this will be the first time where the nodes are not static. So it's going from the nodes being static to the nodes spawning in rotation depending on how many resources of certain types we want to go into the world. So you'll go to a location and there may or may not be a node there depending on if somebody harvested it, and then the rate at which the nodes are spawning into the world depends on how much resources of certain types are going into the world per day, from like a pool that's there,
Right.
that's being refreshed on an ongoing basis. So botting will be a bit more challenging because the plots will be spawning in different locations, and there might not always be the nodes will be spawning in different locations, and there might not be a node there for you just to sort of macro auto hotkey kind of clicking on.
Right.
On the plots, the plots are something where we don't want to make it so that you have to sit there for 24 hours with auto hotkey to get the maximum value out of the plot. So the balance on the plots is going to be more along the lines of like, you go back to it, on a regular basis, and then you know that there's going to be a refresh, and it doesn't take all day for you to be sitting there with 3 bots maxing out the stations 24/7 to collect all the resources. So we want that to be something where you can go there, you can put some time into gathering, and then you can harvest all the resources that your plot has regenerated, and then come back kind of when it's refreshed, and be that consistent process with it. For the actual yield that you get out of the plots, there's a couple different things that go into it. There's the size of the plot, there's the materials that are on the plots and the concentrations of the materials on the plots, and the size of the plot, and then the gathering stations that you decide to place, and then how upgraded they are, right? So you have something where the maximum yield that you get depends, on just the natural properties of the plot that you have, and depends on how upgraded the plot is, and if you have actually, when it does refresh, enough people to sit there extracting it before they run out of the resources on it.
Okay, cool. And just for the I guess the second part of that question, the amount of space available for a land gathering station, is that going to be limited and then only increased when you upgrade via Quanta, as the live paper reads, for any building?
So I'm not 100% sure I understand the question.
Okay.
Are you saying that, like, can you only have a certain number on the plot, or?
Yeah, basically, like is there a certain max capacity of players who can be at a gathering station at one time? So
Yeah, that's the seat. So the seats, there's a certain number of seats of how many people can be harvesting at a time from it. Yeah.
Okay.
And these are to be upgraded with Quanta later on the line if you want to upgrade.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. I think well, hopefully that helps you not only sleep but have like the sweetest of dreams of all time. I know Zoser has been waiting like pretty patiently, so I think we're gonna bring them up. Thank you so much for joining us, Ray, and we will absolutely be in contact. I know you had some other great feedback prior to the round table that we will want to dive into. So looking forward to speaking more with you.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay, bring
Awesome.
Zoster up.
Yeah. Hello,
Also,
welcome.
You guys hear me?
Hey.
We sure can.
Hey, thanks for having me up. I felt like it was my calling to come up when we're talking about land, seeing as I just bought I'm a proud village owner as of about 20 minutes ago. So.
Oh my
Wow,
goodness.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
huge.
you.
Well,
Shout
that's
out to
literally huge.
Tad for helping facilitate it. We did a little OTC thing. It was cool. But I just want to say I love this game. It's amazing. It's one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Super hyped on it. I just want to say, for me, what makes like what makes games great, and you guys did really well and are doing really well, and I'm excited to see more of, is like progression and also like roles. So I mean, it's like in a classic MMO, I think you have to have those two things, right? And so obviously this last playthrough didn't really have much progression because we were all just kind of jump started to the top level and all that. And so for me, that makes it more, you know, a little more tedious, and that's fine because I know, you know, it's a test the servers and all that. That was cool. But what I hope that you guys, I hope that what we can see more of, because what gets me really excited, I just want to share this, is sort of like the idea of having like more specializations and roles and stuff. You know, like right now there's definitely like the physical damage, the magical damage, the healer, and the tank. But I'm really excited, and what helps me sleep at night or gets me thinking is like how many kind of different roles there be, or how much specialization there'll be, and is it going to be one of those things where as you level up, you kind of get a tick into different trees, or is it all in the gear? And so I'm just hoping that the game keeps, you know, has some of that direction. And yeah, I just wanted to share that.
Oh boy, I think you're gonna like our release. We definitely have talked about specializations, so more of that
Yeah.
will be coming.
Yeah, specialization is definitely going to be down the line. We're going to have so like in this build, like you kind of got a glimpse of it, right? Because like we kind of had those roles that you, and we color coordinated them so that way you were able to understand them easier, right? And so like you were able to build into those roles, but you're actually gonna be able to pick a specialization later down the line for your wizard. And so with that specialization, you'll be able to kind of go down these, like, you know, get like unlock better paths to more align you with those play styles that you want to be in. And part of that is what we kind of showcased earlier. I posted in the Runiverse channel, one of the skills from the Rave Mage. And so like that would be like a later class down the line, like a specialization that you'd be able to like go down that path of like kind of thematically going down the Rave Mage path, and you'll have skills that align you more with that archetype.
Awesome. Yeah, super excited for that. Just wanted to share that and kept it quick, and someone
I
else can go
wanted
now.
to add something on specialization. One of the things that we wanted was to not have wizard colors be like directed in a way, right? And so the plan with the game is like, if you're a red wizard, right? Like most red specializations are physical damage, right? But there are also, we're gonna have specializations that are like a red tank, right? So if like you feel like red magic is the one that connects the most with you and your lore, right? You can still play all of the roles. And so I think like that's gonna provide a lot of variety for players.
Yeah. I think especially if it allows a lot of variety because of the ability to kind of like swap in and out of different roles, right? So like even if like, you know, you're focusing on like red magic or whatever, maybe you want to specifically do like, you know, more of a DPS role. Like you can switch out your skill set and your armor and such to match that rather than being locked into a role. You know, I feel like that's really fun. I think for anybody who's played Elden Ring, I'm sure a lot of you have. Like I found that really fun in Elden Ring, being able to like on the fly switch what I wanted what role I wanted to play, you know, and like all of them are like good for the task. And whatever your party needs most, you know, if your party needs a tank more, you can just like switch on the fly to the tank. I think it's a really cool system.
And like that's all part of the progression that we're gonna have in this upcoming release.
Yep.
Where you'll be able to choose your specialization, and like idea is to bring more and more customization option to players.
If I can add some comments on that, just because specializations are kind of a topic that's very close to my heart. Like Taz saying, one of the biggest like goals that we have with specializations, and something that we strive for with the original set of spells, is to let every player find their place in the Runiverse. This is like driving goal for pretty much every single design decision that we make. We want you to get into this world and carve your own path, as you say, for example, in Elden Ring. So as you familiarize yourself with spells, you start to find what kind of playstyle do you want to go for, and with the specializations that are in development, you will have an opportunity to delve even deeper into that set of skills that you have developed as a player. And the great thing about this is that all of the specializations have been based on themes and stories and the lore of the Runiverse. Like, it's been such a wonderful opportunity to dig around for things we can base specializations on. For example, the Rave Mage, as you saw, has influences from some of the great yellow wizards in the lore, and working with that was, like, from a creative standpoint, was like a gold mine, right? Because I can draw from here, I can draw from here, and we know that there are things that players will recognize, players who are familiar with the lore. And so when you get to specialize, you can choose either do you want to go for spells that suit your play style as, for example, as a meta kind of player, like someone who wants to grind the harder difficulties, or are you more of a fan of the lore? Hey, do you want to really follow the story, for example, of the Order of the Eternal Rose? Maybe you'll find an opportunity to get spells that tell you more about that specific aspect of the world. So whether you are, a fan of the lore, a fan of the gameplay, a fan of the grind, we are trying to get as much opportunity for you to express that through your spells, specializations, and pretty much every other aspect that we can get our hands into.
Nice. That was a nice alpha drop that you put in there. The Order of the Eternal Rose. Meeple Dad's gonna really love that. I don't think he's here on the stage right now, but he'll be listening later and he'll get excited that's included. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I have. Oh, sorry. Did someone else?
Oh no, I was gonna say if you go first because I was gonna. There's somebody that requested to speak, but if you want to say something, you can pop in.
Oh, you know what? Let's let them speak because I'm gonna change the conversation topic.
Okay. Lumitown or Lumitao, sorry, that Ron raised their hand. They've been waiting patiently. I'm gonna bring them up to the stage. Hello.
Hey. Great, thanks.
Good. How are you?
Sure.
Awesome.
Guys, if nobody says something great for feedback like that, I would like to say thank you guys for making this possible because this is a really good game that you are making here. This is a really good community that you're making here. So I love it. So um well, I would like to say I love everything. Just one thing I don't like it. Just one thing, and this happened in this in a crash beta test in the last one. I love everything. I would like to say thank you, but the only thing that I don't like from the new beta test was the last day. The last day that we've been farming from the begin, and then you don't receive enough resource, so I get frustrated. I told you because comparable to the last CVT, the second and the first one, the last one was really hard at the begin, and we get frustrated. I get frustrated. I telling you the truth. I get frustrated. But in the last day, then that was insane. I told you I just sleep for 3 hours, and then I've been farming like 21 or 20 hours farming. I'm playing the game, trying to figure out what I have to do. No, yeah, I'm bot. Yes, I'm bot. I'm a human bot. But I've been there farming as a crazy guy. But I really enjoy this game because you are making a great job. You're doing something that people are loving. Even if I don't have a wizard, even if I don't have a warrior, maybe I don't have those because I don't have too much money to buy one because it's a little high right now. But uh, I just want to say thank you guys for this. Thank you for all because you are doing a great job. Maybe Madatsuki know me because I'm always retweeting and always saying, "Yeah, the best, the best, Runiverse." Because I'm always excited about Runiverse. If I hear Runiverse, I get hype. I get like, "Damn, I want to play. Dang, I want to do this. Dang, I want to know." But I just want to say thank you, guys. That's all that I want to say. Thank you so much.
No, it's great
Thank
feedback.
you.
We're so glad that you're having fun. So glad you've been here since the start too.
I feel like it's us who needs to be thanking you for the support and showing up, because obviously with a community driven game we rely on the cult and people like you to have fun and show up, and you do, and it's like, yeah, we're eternally grateful for the love and support that you showed us, and with that, obviously constructive criticism like of your frustrations is totally valid too, so we want to hear all of that as well, not just not just being love bombed, but we want to know how we can get better for everyone here too, so
We're all still very early.
yeah.
Yeah, that's very important because we are making this game for you guys. So seriously, everything gets up. Keep it coming.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really
Okay.
lovely. My
Helen?
next question is directly from the dev team here. They want to know, NFT holders, would you rather keep your wizard name or would you prefer to have your custom character name displayed? Which should we display?
I can answer
Custom?
this.
Cool.
I know a lot of people have talked about it. Being able to set a custom screen name that's saved when you could change between the wizards would be so much nicer, because I like to flop through my different holdings. And if I do that, people that I'm on the team with don't know who I am. And also, if we get disconnected or we try to find each other the next day, like, it changes your name in the friend finder. So something, maybe even just a toggle switch to either choose to use your character name or your set like character developed nickname would be a really nice function.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of toggle in chat.
Nice.
Okay. Toggle is the ideal.
Yeah, that's like a why not both approach.
Yeah,
which
why
I'm
not
a
both,
big fan
right?
of. Yeah.
Maybe I want to. Maybe one day I want to slap it. I want to just flip between them back and forth in the dungeons just to make my teammates pissed off.
It's
But
more because
custom as default?
Matto doesn't
Yeah.
want to get spammed because
Yeah.
he's so popular.
Yeah, no, it's true. Every time I hop in game, I always get their invites just from being in game. When I'm just
Not
like
a big
AFK in
deal.
town.
Okay, so I'm writing that we would like to see a toggle, but the default should be custom. The custom name.
Sorry
Okay.
to
Awesome.
interrupt. If I may.
Just a reminder, anyone is welcome to raise their hand. I think, Helen, are we moving on to another subject, or are you looking for more?
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about the fights, the omen system. Any specific feedback about that? Would love to hear.
Also, I guess we're going a bit over for time, and that's
We are.
fine.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fine.
okay. A lot of good questions.
It's the encore that no one asked for. So we're going for it.
See several people typing. I like it. I know we had a bit of feedback about omens early on here, but let's do a deep dive.
Oh, that's interesting. They let us put soundboard emojis in the chat, but they don't let us actually play soundboard. Why Discord? I feel like
Well,
soundboard would be great.
It looks like we have. Sorry, Mano.
No, don't worry. It's oh yeah, we have somebody coming up.
Yeah.
Invite them up right now. Hello, Nuboko Demon. Awesome name, by the way.
Yeah, cool name.
Yeah, big fan.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Guys. I'm a Spanish speaker, but I will try to do the best I can. And thank you for the name. It's very original because in Japanese, you have the spear that formed the earth that was called Amano Nuboko. So I took the Nuboko from there.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately.
That's awesome.
It's a great name.
Thank you. So I began playing first because of a friend who told me to play because the game was very nice and awesome. So I came for the first test in December. But there is a thing that I don't have PC. I play on mobile. So I know that you guys had the message that mobile was not that it was going to crash a lot because I know we are in game development. So it was very difficult because I sadly I couldn't play much because of that, because it was crashing from the start, and literally I stayed there. So just wanted to leave the comment that I'm a mobile player, so I can imagine that more like me are here. The game is awesome. You guys are doing really remarkable work. Nice game. I'm saving myself for a wizard, little by little. So I'm really into the game and into the Forgotten Rules ecosystem. So yeah, just that I hope that you guys don't forget about mobile players because
Never.
I really wanted to like get far in the game, but really couldn't because it was crashing every time.
So you're
But
saying
I know.
this is on mobile?
Yes, on mobile.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can actually speak on that. I think we actually do have mobile optimizations down the line. I think
Okay.
yeah. So definitely we have mobile in mind. I think there were
Okay.
some like brief optimizations that were like pushed during the previous events. But like there's a lot of stuff that like quality of life that's needed like a joystick on the screen, right? Because it's a bit hard to navigate. And just in general some optimizations to make it easier to run on like multiple devices. But that's one of the beauties of it being a web-based game, that it can run
Yes.
on a multiple majority of different devices, right? As long as it has like a web browser. But we just obviously need to make sure that's fine-tuned for like some of those fringe cases and maybe mobile as well. So that'll come in time. But we have you in
Okay.
mind. Don't worry. We want to make sure that you're able to
Okay. Thank you. By the way, the second test that we did in January was very good. It didn't crash that much,
That's
so it
awesome.
was better. Yes.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
So thank you guys a lot for hearing me. Awesome games you're doing here.
Thank you.
Thank
Glad to have you here
you.
and glad you're enjoying
Thank
it.
you so much.
Muchas
Yes, thank
gracias.
you.
Really good.
Gracias.
De nada.
Yeah,
Um,
I think one of the things like to point out too that I think is like a real big strength of the game is like the distribution, because all you really need at the end of the day is just like that browser, and like the web link. And so, I like to think one day I'll play on a fancy LG fridge on Google Chrome browser, but who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really great because it enables like a ton of different people to play regardless of like the device and whether or not they have like what location they're in, and it's not like hardware dependent, which like gates a lot of people from playing a lot of games that they may want to. So that's actually one of my favorite things about the game, is just like how easy it is to just load it up on the website and go when the servers are up.
Yeah. I've seen videos of people playing it on like Steam Deck and playing it on iPads and stuff.
Actually, that was me. I was playing on Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
I think I
Awesome.
said that outside. Yeah, no, it actually worked pretty good, and I don't think the
Yeah.
teams really like looked at it really at all, and it just worked, and it was a pretty great experience actually.
I'm taking
Somebody's
some
asking
notes
to
here.
make a mobile app for the Runiverse.
Yeah.
So there actually is a progressive web app version of the Runiverse, and I think it's actually a bit more optimized if you download the progressive web app. So that's probably going to be the easiest way to get it right now, and it's pretty much the same as having like a mobile app. So we'll probably put up a guide for it. I think maybe next time for the next playtest, because you're not the only one who's asked that. I think maybe kind of like having more of a standard kind of like official like guideline to follow along, so that way people know how to do it and know that's even there. I think that will be very helpful. So you can have it saved on your desktop as an icon or on your phone, wherever your mobile device, and it will load up as an app.
Awesome.
Okay.
What's next,
I'm
Helen?
seeing. Well, I'm wondering if we should address Goyce. Hope I said that right. Goyce's question about the airdrop. You're wondering probably when we're shipping the airdrop.
Right. So the airdrop will happen with the live service or the global early access build that's later, Q1 of this year. And in order to be eligible, if you had played any of the events, it would be any mana earned or purchased would make you eligible for that.
And that includes previous playtests as well. So if you
Yes.
played in Eve of Memory or New Foundations, you earned mana there. You'll also be eligible for just for that, even if you didn't play the most recent Crash of Runiverse. So
And yeah, as long as that answers everyone's questions about the airdrop. I saw some questions about UI updates you might be making, what's going on with inventory. I know we've internally talked about merging inventories. I wonder if we have a dev here who could talk about that.
Yeah, so there's in the launch that's coming up in the live service global early access launch, there's a bunch of changes to inventory management. So one big one is the account inventory, the thing that was just for, what would you think of as the items that you can mint versus the items that you can't. That's getting merged with the regular inventory. Because basically, the goal of the game is that you can mint all the items essentially. But it's one unified inventory, and then there's a lot more filters by the type of thing that you want to look through in your inventory. So it's not a complete rehaul, complete revamp, but it has a lot more filters for you to be able to sort through stuff, including things like being able to filter by like minted items, be able to filter by things that you can craft kind of in the crafting station, be able to filter by item type and everything.
Thank you. And that covers the questions I wanted to ask. I saw your typed responses about the Omen system. I've made note of all of those. And now at this point, it's just kind of open mic time. Is there anyone who wants to get a last minute question in or feedback?
I think there's one in the chat says, before live service launch, will there be another beta that goes up and level to 30?
Well,
Hugo, are you prepared to announce it?
Sorry, I was
go virtually like what?
I was having like a coughing fit, so I didn't actually.
Yeah, I was
hear the
holding off on
question.
anything in case I was like, I don't know actually, but if we want to
Will
announce
there
it,
be any events before the live service launch? Will the game go live before the live service launch?
Ooh, how alpha are we getting? I feel like I need a lot of W's in chat if I'm gonna say something like that.
Oh boy.
send your Wenergy right now.
Yeah, I need the
The summoning
energy beam.
ritual, the dark magic summoning ritual, right? It's in progress. I don't know if it will.
Oh,
work
Goku's
for
here
that.
now. We
Yeah,
have
he got the
to.
spirit bomb W. Now you have to do it, Hugo.
Okay. So here's the T. So obviously we had Crash the Universe, and during Crash the Universe we had the Chaos Hours, and that was kind of born out of the amount of dark magic and chaos magic that was happening, and through all that magic there created little tears known as rifts, and these Runiverse rifts are gonna spring open as little portals back into the Runiverse between now and live service, and we'll share more about the lore of these. But these rifts are, very chaotic. They'll only be open for a few hours, but they'll allow you to peer and gain access into a build and still have the ability to get the rewards that you kind of saw during Crash the Universe, because it's technically part of the same lore of that event. And so, yeah, these rifts will provide temporary access points for a few hours back to the Runiverse spontaneously, so you're gonna have to keep your eyes peeled. We'll give you little hints as these rifts start getting, as they start getting active. But TLDR, yes, you will be back in the Runiverse before live service launch. They will be spontaneous. They will be very limited in terms of hours. They will be. Actually, I'm gonna hold on to that detail. So,
Yeah, don't
I'm
read
gonna
too
hold on
much.
to
I
the
think
one
that's good.
detail.
I
But,
think that's
but
a
yeah,
good.
I'll leave it at that. And if that was too much, team, I'm sorry. I'll take a pay cut, and you can like
Nah, that's great.
slap my wrist later. But yeah, I'm really
Right.
excited for it. Obviously, I'm sure you can hear how stoked I was,
Yeah.
and the team's doing their best to put like little bits of lore in that, because lore is at the core. So we want to make it fun.
And of course, this is
Yeah.
going to be a large part of testing. And as you said, you were looking at level 30 and all these things. We want to look at some more stuff too before launch. So we're looking forward to rewarding you with rifts. We'll have more details soon.
Yep. Somebody asked, how can we play right now? So that kind of ties into it. You can't play right now, but we will have some play testing events coming up leading into when we actually do a live service. You'll have to wait for more news on Windows up here.
Wow, I can't think of a better note to end on than the ultimate alpha that not even the development team knew was coming.
I know there's probably a bit more questions. You can definitely leave them. Obviously, we're always monitoring, especially in the Runiverse chat. So feel free to leave them. Me, Hugo, and Helen are always kind of like browsing around. Of course, the Bisonic dev team as well. So we'll be able to answer your questions kind of like as we see them. But we're very happy that we were able to have this. I'm very happy that everybody joined in. This was actually a pretty good turnout, and very excited about hosting our first roundtables. First of many. We plan on having more of these. I think it's really good. It's really great to get feedback live like this. I think it's very constructive to hear from all of you guys.
I, for one, can't wait for all the when roundtable memes.
Yeah, so true. Win roundtable.
When
More
roundtable.
Goku.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for being here, guys. This is great.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, and thank you to the
Yes,
devs.
thank you.
Thank you to Magic Machine, who was sneaky
Thanks,
on stage
everyone.
the whole time.
I have your last minute suggestion, Hale. Adding to notes.
Wow, I love how the Black Sand bot actually is like responding to our magic.
It's awesome.
Who invited the Black
Amazing.
Sand bot in here? Bill.
I think at one point we had over 124 or 125 members of the cult, so that is so great to see.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. This
Yep.
won't be our last.
Yep, spam magic on the way out. Thank you
Bad
so much,
magic
everyone.
on the way out. I'm gonna start playing the music. Lead us off.
Also, shout out to the TCG and to Black Sand. Race your ponies. It's so much fun. Fight me in the TCG. That's also
My
so
pony's
much fun.
doing very poorly right now.
And
so
we'll see you.
feels
We'll
bad.
see you in the rifts as well.
Bye.
Everybody, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. And for those of you who are still around, please, 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 please